Hello, my name is Richard Anthony Marca, and this is my CSC 323 Homework 6 assignment. The concept of this assignment is that we're pretending to be a backend engineer for SafeDrop Hub, which is a new expansion of the SafeDrop ecosystem that we were creating before. So creators need a new single public URL to place in their TikTok and Instagram bios that routes their secure drops alongside a custom URL shortener for their individual files. Because influencer traffic tends to be incredibly spiky, we must architect the backend using Cloud Run to leverage its scale to zero capabilities and massive request concurrency. In addition, the marketing team wants every profile to automatically generate a downloadable QR code, which requires a specific image processing library to be baked into our custom container. So here is the requirements.txt for the files that we're using. We're using Pillow and QR code, Unicorn, Flask, and Google Cloud Firestorm. This is the Cloud Build YAML file. Scroll this down a little bit. The images and going to where it needs to go. This is for the Dockers and the Cloud SDK. This is the Docker file. And this is the main app Python file where we have the QR code in here as well, the Flask imports. If you go down, this is to get the base URL. Here is to create the username. And if no doc exists, it will have error of profile not found. Data, name, bio. So the data for the profiles is going to be name, bio, and links. There's an app get to get the username and to generate the shortcode. And an app post to post the username. So if we go to the IAM, these are the roles of the service account where we have Cloud Data Store User, which could read and write access to data in Cloud Data Store database, and Logs Writer, so it could actually write logs. If we go here, this is the service account here with public access. And if we go here, here is the actual database that we're using. So I already created account, profiles, I put Richard. If I click onto Richard, you're going to see there's two links that we could put in here. So I made a GitHub and a LinkedIn link for this, the bio for the assignment. It's just standard stuff, nothing really that interesting. But the URLs, this is going to have a multiple URLs. This is a test one. As you can see, these are the URLs that have already been created. So let me actually create another one. So if I go here, as you can see, the file that I have this in is called SafeDrop Hub. And if I run this into here, it's going to create a new shortcode. And if I go into Firestore Studio, here it is right here with a new URL. Also, if I go to the SafeDrop Hub website, as you can see in the URL, these are the links you could click because I have placeholders. They're not actually going to go anywhere. It's going to give me an error because it's github.com ... So it's just going to say 404 error not found. But it also generates the QR code. And if you look at the URL here, this is the QR code that is generated. And because I have basic placeholder websites, this doesn't really go anywhere. It just gives you a error page, but it works. It just goes to the dummy files. Like if I open this, page not found because it doesn't exist. If I go here, page not found because it's literally just, yeah. So if I put my real data in there, it would actually do it. But it does create the URLs and creates the actual QR. And it also, as you can see, writes to Firestore correctly. And it does redirect when you use the shortener logic. In fact, if I go back to Cloud Shell and I run this, well, that's a 404 because that's not the one I want. But if I do let me just do that manually. If I run 4Z DQ A3, there is the 302 confirmation in the HTTP, which should give us the example.com, but example.com doesn't actually go anywhere, so it's just an example domain. And it does work. I could actually trigger a redeploy if I wanted to. So if I actually trigger the redeploy, this will take a while, but it will complete. And I did use some generative AI, but it was only to outline the steps I needed to do. It didn't tell me what to write exactly. I didn't use it to too much. I just wanted to make an outline on what needs to be done. I also used it to explain more about the QR code into SafeDrop. And I did use it for debugging because I did have an issue where it wasn't going to the correct, it wasn't putting anything on here, but I was able to fix that because it turns out I was using the wrong URL that gets provided in Cloud Shell because it brings up several URLs and I was clicking on the wrong one. And once I clicked on the correct one, it started to work. And that is it for this assignment. Thank you, and I will see you next time.